Welcome back, everyone, to Battle Report number 5. Battle in Zone 1 yet again, as we've got a little bit of a tug of war going on. So today, we will be Max is utilizing his Bear Claw company, which in all honesty is a fairly light company in comparison to what he usually uses. Versus my British Teapot company, which is still pretty versatile, pretty armor-heavy unit. Not that I have a lot of heavy armor, if any at all, really, but I do have a lot of armor with it. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Battle Report number 5 in Zone 1.
Alright, so we are back with Battle Report 5. We will be going over Allied formation first. So for today, I'm running my usual infantry formation with an armored formation. I've got 2 platoons of commandos with the commando headquarters, and then 2 of the Frost AT guns, 6-pounders. For the armored company, I've got the 2x1x Comet armored squadron headquarters with 1 Comet, 2 Cromwells. I'm also running the 4x Comet platoon, 3x Shermans. If his turret looks weird, that's because it's part of an American Sherman, not a British one. 2 17-pounder M10s, and then a 3x Firefly platoon. Alright, total of 121 points. Let's go take a look at the German formation. Alright, what you got?
Alright, so we have a HQ SS Panther division leading in its formation an SD KFC 231 company scout troop with an Ardennes armored SS Panther Grenadier platoon. And then if we move over here, we have a Panther Late Tank Company HQ leading the newest unit, the Hornus Tank Hunter platoon that we got, and then a regular Panzer IV tank platoon, as well as a thing of Stugs, of 3 Stugs. It's a smaller German force this time around, but hopefully it'll be a little bit more effective.
And as you can see, the familiar terrain, we are back in Zone 1. We are going with the contact or hasty attack. It's the same thing, but we just found 2 different names for it. Deployment, so I'm, as defending, deploy at 16 inches, max deploys out to 12, and I do have 1 unit that I will be utilizing for ambush. So let's go ahead and get into
we will not be doing reserves for this battle.
No reserves. Alright, next up will be the deployment phase.
Alright, deployment has been established. So over here, I've got my one of my commando sections with the commando headquarters. Got my Comet platoon with the Sherman platoon. Right here, I used one of my supplies that I had for sandbags and helped fortify my Frost AT section. Then over here, I deployed another commando section with Firefly platoon, and then the Comet headquarters. Then right over here, I've got my intel. We have the supply cache there, and then Max's intel is right here. Alright, Max, how'd you deploy the Germans?
So, the SS Panther squad deployed in the forest, and then spearheaded with the SD scout troop. We have the Panzer Grenadier company that went with them. We have Stugs on the road here. And moving far left, we have the Panzer IVs or the Panthers deployed to try and cover our intel objective there.
Alright. And for the intel token of Max's that I captured last game, I redeployed his Hornesses, which he did have overwatching in that wheat field, but now I've put them in the literal back corner of the forest, which is that rough terrain, so before he can utilize them, he's going to have to get some cross checks going, so hopefully I can delay his best anti-tank ability. Alright, moving on to German, turn 1. Also, almost forgot, my ambush unit is going to be my 17-pounder M10s. Alright, German turn 1.
Alright, so 2 of the Hornesses were, well, I moved the Panthers HQ so they could get a reroll on their cross checks. One of the Hornesses didn't make it, 2 did, and they moved up, but they weren't able to range anything without having to shoot over their own guys, so they stuck without 2 inches. Stugs moved up, 2 took cover to have at least front armor facing them, and then 1 faced over here. Half tracks deployed their guys into these houses, all 3 of these houses here. The SDs moved up, 1 got failed his cross check, but 1 made it into the forest, blocking that sandbag territory. And then the Panzers moved up except for this guy, and the Panthers blitzed. Weren't able to get any hits because it was 6 to hit all of his guys, so because they were all dug in on this first turn. So they didn't do too well. I think a lot of my shit's gonna die next turn, but hopefully the guys in the city are gonna be able to hold. But I am now within 6 inches of his intel, so I'm capturing that, and then since I have guys in the house and they're within 2 inches of the supply, I'm now capturing that as well.
All right, moving on to British turn number 1. All right, so British turn 1. Blitz to the infantry over here and pulled the headquarters back to safer cover. Also blitzed the Comets. Shermans didn't move. Infantry went up, were able to bail the lead scout vehicle right there. Comets, when they blitzed up, fired into the half tracks and the second scout vehicle and took them out. The last Comet, that guy right there, tried firing at the Stug but missed. Shermans went ahead, fired their cannons into this building, were able to take out one of the infantry squads. 6-pounders took their shots at the Stugs, but unfortunately the round ricocheted off the 1 hit they got. Pushed the infantry up over here, then blitzed the headquarters and the Fireflies, and was able to successfully take out his 2 Panthers over here. But also tried shooting the Panzer IV, but missed those shots. So, yeah, fairly successful turn for the British, turn 1 at least. I haven't triggered my ambush yet. All right, moving on to German, turn number 2. All right, German, turn number 2.
All right, so Harnesses were issued a crosshair movement order in their movement phase, and so they were able to get this guy unstuck that was in the corner, and they were all able to move up here with an improved cross check, which actually did help. The Panthers moved up slightly, but they're still without a 2 inches. The Stugs moved up here. All the infantry moved up into there. Over into here, the Panzers went aggressive, went onto the sides, and shot in, bailing only one of the Fireflies. As for what I took out, I bailed out one of the Comets and destroyed one of them. Even with the Harnesses, the Stugs, and the infantry firing Panzerfaust into there. And then we found out the rule for shoot and scoot was wrong. We're not supposed to move during the movement order in order to utilize it.
Fine.
But because we've been using it like that this entire campaign with allowing movement, we decided to keep going until the next campaign. But for this one, the guys shoot and scooted into the smoke of the tank there, and these guys shoot and scooted into the forest to make sure that they're harder to hit. But they're saying hi to some of the British infantry right now.
He goes.
But that is German turn 2.
All right, moving on to British, turn numero 2. All right, British turn number 2. So I blitzed the Shermans and the Comets back. Had the Comets fire and also blitzed the infantry forward. Had the Shermans and the infantry fire into where Max's infantry was. They were completely deleted. They were all killed off. Not a single one of them got away. And then, what is it? Had my Comets fire onto the Stugs. Got the front 2 right there. Pulled one of the AT guns over to try and shoot into the infantry. He didn't nail any hits though. Over here, blitzed the Fireflies and the Comet Cromwell headquarters. Was able to destroy 2 of the panzers, bailed another 2. And then I assaulted, forced one of the panzers to retreat, and the last panzer is still bailed. So, moving on to our next turn. Alright, we have the conclusion of this match. Max has deemed that he's taken too many losses and that he's gotten to a position where he might be able to bleed me a few more units, but it's not worth what further potential losses he could make. Max?
I cannot face British on open terrain, and that is what he's used on this map every time.
Minus the first match.
And guess what? I won that match.
It's funny is every time I've led with an American formation I've lost, but every time I've led with a British formation I've won. And my last full unit is an American unit.
Mm-hmm. So you pretty much have a whole company left. You barely took any losses.
Yeah, I lost a single Comet and
A few infantry.
yeah, 3 infantry teams. I didn't even deploy my ambush, my M10 section.
The only way I can defeat British forces is if I bring a shit ton of, Panthers and everything. And also having the Horneses deployed over there for the intel really hurt. I wasn't able to utilize them properly. And so they weren't able to actually take out the things that could take out my armor, which was the whole point of how this thing was supposed to be set up. So
yeah, the shortest battle report of this campaign so far, with only 2 full turns. All right, well, we'll catch you guys on the next battle report, which will be the second battle for Foy. Catch you guys next time.
All right, so as you guys saw, Battle Report 5, the shortest battle report of this campaign so far. Max trying to cut his losses early before losing his very powerful tank hunters. But I will say their armor is incredibly weak with that AT that they have. Oof. Nothing in my arsenal can withstand not even a frontal shot from them. But yeah, stay tuned for next time on Battle Report 6. As we proceed onto the second battle of Foy. This is actually going to be, what is it? The last battle. Excuse me. Yeah, this is going to be the last battle of a fully fledged formation, in all honesty, as after this, Max and I will have to form what task forces we can from our reserve lists. And then ultimately, depending on how that goes, we might have to finish this campaign by just seeing who controls more territory or whatever, or who has a more powerful battle group still left. So yeah, thanks for watching Battle Report number 5. Tune in next time on Battle Report 6, the second battle for Foy.